an Instagram reel has pushed India into another loud, messy debate. This time, over a Hindi slur that women in this country know far too well. A word thrown at us in classrooms, streets, families, WhatsApp groups, and now probably in this comment section too. The controversy started when therapist and creator Divya Bhasin called herself a proud R, trying to reclaim a slur that has long been used to control and humiliate women. Her argument was simple. If society uses the word to shame women, maybe owning it takes away its sting. And naturally, the internet exploded. Within hours, the topic produced an unfiltered influx of reels, opinions, stitched reactions, think pieces, outrage, solidarity, and memes. And as usual, the speed blurred what the movement was actually trying to ask. Divya said that thousands of women wrote to her saying that the slur had been used against them since childhood, often by family members. Teenagers began adding #ProudR to their bios, triggering a movement of sorts. But then came a different, also important set of voices. Sex worker collectives pointed out that the R word isn't just a misogynistic insult. It's a word tied to the violence and stigma they live with every day. Dalit feminists reminded people that sexual slurs in India are caste-coded, and that reclamation without reckoning with caste privilege flattens those who have carried the heaviest burden of the word. Linguists also noted that unlike some reclaimed slurs, like queer for example, this one has no neutral meaning at all, which makes reclamation far more complicated. Meanwhile, ironically, a lot of backlash was also driven by those who routinely use the word themselves. More than 20 FIRs were filed across states. A POCSO complaint was lodged, alleging that minors were being influenced to adopt abusive language. And Instagram had suddenly become a legal and cultural battleground. And predictably, another corner of the internet detached the controversy from its context entirely and turned the trend into meme material. But the real questions, the ones drowning under the noise, are these. Can a word so deeply tied to policing women, caste, and the lived trauma of sex workers ever be reclaimed? If yes, who gets to do it? If not, how do women push back against a slur that's already woven into everyday language? And what happens when an online movement outruns the people most affected by it?